Hey guys, this is a video on pulling the 5.7 Hemi of a Dodge Ram. This is an '06, and she dropped a valve seat, so I took the head off. You can see this cylinder has holes in it. I looked it up. Apparently, sometimes you overheat these motors, and the valve seat just falls right out from under the valve. Scored the cylinder on this thing. It was rattling around a lot. So I took the cylinder head off, which is not a hard job. This whole Dodge Ram is one of the easiest things I have ever worked on. So two-wheel drive, so it's got no transfer case and axles and differential, which is nice. But honestly, it's really easy to work on these trucks. The whole thing is metric. It's like 10, 13, 15, 17. No big deal. The intake manifold comes off really easy. So if you're going to pull this motor, you want to pull this plastic intake manifold off. It's just 10mm bolts. The factory manual from Dodge is really good. I've used factory manuals for like Toyota Supras and stuff. They're terrible. The Dodge manual is really common sense. But you want to take this plastic manifold off. Also, the top cross member on the rad here comes off. I wish I'd sort of done this right away. Because instead of, I had to be on like a stool to lean over the engine bay to get into the stuff. If you took this cross member off and pull the rad out and the fan shroud, it allows you a lot easier access. You can just stand here and get in. So do that right away. I took the exhaust manifolds off, but I think you can just leave them on and undo the two mid pipes there. I think they were 14 mils. Pretty much the wiring harness, there's nothing sneaky. Remember just to label all your connectors. It may seem obvious to you now, but when you go to put this thing back together, maybe it's a week, maybe it's 6 months, you won't remember. Also label all of your bolts. I put them in little bags and just write up little labels for them, put them in there. Anyways, what do you need to know to pull this thing? This is not rocket science. Anyway, this is one of the easiest I ever done. Basically pull all the connectors off, label them all, get as many as you can. Take out the inner fender wells here. It gives you a lot more room. It does not take long to get those things off. They're just 10mm bolts pretty much. Take those out and you can come up through the side. There's not a lot of stuff I had to lean on my back from this. I left the AC condenser attached, haphazardly hung in the bay here to keep it from losing pressure. It was kind of a pain, but because of the split rads, it's actually not too hard to do, which is nice. The bell housing doesn't have any hidden bolts. There's a cradle that goes underneath it. It's just got 3 bolts per side, I think it was. Aluminum cradle, it drops off. You can see the bell housing has just 4 bolts on it to the flex plate. So just take off your lower cradle there, spin it over with the crank, and pull out all 4 bolts. It's not hard. Get your upper 4 bell housing bolts. Remember to label them, put them away. The starter was just 2 bolts, easily accessed, and a few connectors. Awesome. My F-150 was way harder. Get all your heater core stuff off. Everything on the Dodge is held on by these little nubs which go onto the top of the studs. They sort of to keep the connectors on. Not too hard. To get the fuel line off, I just got this little fuel line tool. You basically push it up underneath this thing, ram it in there, and then wiggle and haul and just push it in hard and work that thing back and forth, grab it, jam it. May seem stuck, but it'll come out. That guy, Mikado Tech, he did a video on that. It's really good, and it shows how to rip at that thing. Pulling the motor out, when you actually get to it, I didn't have the crazy tool, so I just used 1 bolt on the front here through this thermostat housing, and then 1 bolt on the back, which bent a bit. Whoopsies! That's where the ground goes. Just a couple of chains. It's hard because you can't get the crane in too far because this top thing here, normally you'd put it like way over and go straight down, but because the Dodge engine is so far back, I had to put the crane more forward, as you can see here. But it worked. It was safe. No problem. Never take that plastic intake manifold off. You don't want to crack that thing. There's a big connector in the back. I didn't see that originally. Remember to put a transmission jack. Just a jack under the trans. It was just a matter of taking the engine up and down a few times and wiggling it, and the trans came off. I took off the driver's side engine mount. There's just 2 big bolts for these things. I took off the 4 bolts just to clear this one off. I left the other one on, and that was enough to get it out. Again, this is not a particularly hard thing, but, you know, if you're just trying to do this in a weekend, don't do it in a weekend. You're just going to end up making mistakes and rushing stuff. I mean, or you're young and have some friends, pull a couple of 12-hour days, you can do it. This thing is not hard. It'd be a bit harder with a transfer case in the front and stuff, but not by too much, I don't think. Anyways, that's all there is to it. I did this thing solo. Basically, I just jacked the engine up and then pushed the truck back in neutral to pull the engine out. And I got a new motor, well, new used motor. I switch over the junk, put it back in. Yeah, not too bad. Actually, really not bad at all. There's so much room in trucks. It's excellent. Anyways, if you have any questions on anything else and how to get this thing out, just leave a comment below and I'll answer you as best I can. Honestly, it's not too bad. Follow the manual. Nothing too tricky here. And you get your motor back in. A little disappointed about this whole valve seat business. It's a problem. Other than that, I mean, this truck, well engineered, lots of room, common sense things to pull things out to get this motor out. Common sense starter in a good location, unlike my 5.4 Ford. Bloody hard to get at. Common sense. Well designed. I know this is body on top of frame, but still, really nice to get out. Really not so bad. Anyways, hope this video helped you. Get out there and tackle it. Just remember to take your bloody time. I always rush. Today I didn't rush. Well, the last couple days. Label everything. Bag everything. Be calm. Don't get frustrated. Take a break and go watch Batman vs. Superman. Woohoo! Who was bad? It's Batman who's bad, Superman. But wait, I'm off topic. Anyways. And this thing is totally doable. Hope you enjoyed this video.